Now, I'm going to be tying this fly here. This is a wet crane fly or daddy longlegs. This is a traditional wet fly, but to represent the daddy longlegs. This is a nice pattern to tie. I'm just doing some for a box at the moment, so I thought you'd really like to see it, and it is great fun to tie and fish. It has a great reputation. At one time I even heard that it was banned for 1 or 2 waters, as even though it represents a fly, a lot thought it was more a lure than a fly, which is, well, it's just the way things were back then. But it is a wet fly, and it does represent the crane fly. Now, it is a nice pattern to say to tie. Now, the hook can be a standard hook if you want, but if you get a long shank hook like this, it's a size 10, tied in 10s and 8s. Now, the thread can be a dark brown, even black if you want, but I'm using this, the rusty brown. It's a Uni 80. I'm just going to run the wax through it to get it started. And I always run my fingers through, take away the excess wax. It's a bit squeaky, the old bobbin, so what I do is I put it into my side of my nose, and it's squeak free now. So, and it runs smoother if you do that, believe it or not. So basically I'm going to wind down, tying in, on the way down I'm going to tie in some gold oval tinsel. You could use a gold wire if you want, and you can just, quick as you can, nice and tight, the back of the hook. Now for the body, I'm going to use the original material as well. Now what this is natural raffia. Now you can buy it like big bunches like this. You can get it like online for the craft shops or so. Now as you see, it's very straw-like. And what you do is, I'll just cut a bit off here. And just basically you tear it apart. It's not the strongest thing in the world, like as long as you wind it on, basically it stays nice and tight. So what you do is I look for a nice length so that I can control. And there we go. I just run my fingers through it and moisten it, or moisten my fingers and then moisten the raffia. It softens it up. It makes it easier to apply as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to catch it on full length of the body here, thread up. Now give yourself a good, I would say 3 to 4 mil from the eye, because you've got a body hackle and you've got 2 front hackles to wind on. Now as you wind this up, spread it out, you will get the odd wee ripple, but just keep tying over it, it will settle in. And times that's what I like to see, to be honest with you, the wee sort of grooves of the raffia, gives it a more natural look. But it's a good colour. When you're happy with the body, really quick look, that's fine. I don't like it too heavy, but there we are. And I'm not fussy, you can see it's not the smoothest body in the world, but it works together once you start to tie the fly, so don't worry about it. I'm just going to use this just a furnace cock hackle here. I've got it. I like it with the black centre. You could use it just a normal brown, but it helps to give you a rib as well. Just wax your thread, take away the fluff always to the base, and then tie in your hackle. And then I'm just going to use the hackle pliers. I like to do at least a couple of turns at the top if you can, and then I'm going to come down to 2/3 of the way, and then I'm going to come up with a rib. Now, first turn it right at the back and on the hook. The next one, obviously, as you come up, catch your hackle at this point, and then continue up through ribbing in, ribbing the body, tying in your hackle obviously, and your body, just protects it. Get to the top here. Now I've obviously broke away the hackle. Nice base of thread down, tidying things up for your Tippet hackle. Now, Tippet hackle comes from the golden pheasant. This is it here. Now you're looking for basically feathers down about here for this size of fly, because they are quite long. You don't like them all the way up here. The feathers are down here, the ones I'm using. And the size you're looking for is around about this size here. You can have it as long as you like. The fibre length is actually quite long. You can always check by putting the stem against the shank and it'll give you the length. So you tie this in by the tip like we would do a hen hackle. So if you just basically come in, I'm just locating the tip of the feather using my hackle pliers. Trim away the excess. Make sure there's wax on your thread so you get the grip. Now the reason, well, there's a couple of reasons for all this space up here is you want to, basically doing a turn, you want to try and space out the turns with the tippet so that it keeps the fibres open. You don't want them too tight. So obviously we do a turn, we just stroke back these fibres, the good side of the feathers facing towards the eye. So we start off with a straight turn, and then we start to come through. Now don't worry even if you see the thread, it's not going to make it fly better if you space it slightly out as you wind up. There we are, come up, cross my thread, nice and tight, make sure you secure it in. I'm just going to wind towards the eye, and then come back up. You can break away the hackle, see how it's sitting, well spread, that's what you want, that's perfect, it's ideal, just nice and open. Now for the front hackle, this is a partridge hackle. This is one of the feathers with it, you'll see this brown or ginger mark. You don't necessarily have to use this one, but I like to use it because it suits the colour of the fly, and plus you get the partridge fibre. So what we do here is remove the fluff of the base, we catch the tip of the hackle, and draw back the fibres we don't need. Again, a wee bit of wax on with thread, gives you the grip. Then a nice base of thread down. A wax thread will hold, will give you the grip for the turns. Again, I use a hackle plier so you can see what I'm doing. Just fold the fibres back with the good side facing again forward. And then we just wind through. We can wind as many as you like to add colour to the fly. I'm making sure there's plenty there. Tie it off. Again, there's plenty of room here. We can basically fold the stem of the feather back, this partridge feather, and then just form a nice head. You want to see it. Lost the stem in there, there we are. Just bringing the stem of the feather out, and then you can break this off. Or cut it away, it's up to yourself. It's quite strong that there. Quick finish. Trim the thread away. Now what I'm going to do here, because you've obviously, fly's fine, it's all twisted up like, it's all, so if you basically, when you're winding a hackle, you're twisting the fibres between each turn. This, if you use the hairdryer here, just to open them out, just put them where they would sit when you start casting, it will give you an idea of the shape. So that's what I'm going to do. Just bring out the fibre against the hairdryer. You'll see the shape that you're going to get when you're casting it when it's been fished. You see how it opens out, it's holding out. And there we are. You love the shape in your fly. This is what it's going to look like, and then all you have to do is finish off. Got a varnish. You can rotate obviously your vise, it's easier to apply it and all the way around. And don't be shy. And then you can clean the eye out. Use your dubbing needle or a piece of feather or something, anything. And there we go. And that's your, well, it's a daddy long legs, but it's the wet version. And or a wet daddy, or crane fly is the proper name for the fly. So nice pattern. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just got another 6 to go, and for the box. So anyway, again, if you enjoy the videos, please subscribe, and again, thank you for watching.